When I was thinking about this and what it might feel like to not want to admit to something or say something publicly, because all of us have been there at some point where we have an opinion or a thought or a belief or whatever that we're not willing to say out loud because we're afraid of what people might think. I couldn't help but think about it, how a few months ago, my kids, I have 2 kids, a daughter, Ruby, she's 4, and a son named Easton, he's 2. And they watched this movie called The Greatest Showman for the first time. Have you guys seen The Greatest Showman? Couple, yeah, okay. I had not seen it, but they say they loved it. And my wife's like, we should probably watch that at some point. I'm like, I don't know. It's a musical. I'm not really into musicals. My mom tried with that. I saw the other cool musicals that she thinks are great. I never liked it. I'm not a musical kind of guy, right? Most guys are like, yeah, I get it. I don't like musicals either. So they listen to it all the time. I would hear Ruby listening to it in her room as she's cleaning her room, and she'd sit there and sing, and I would be in the kitchen. I'd be like, okay, that kind of sounds cool. That's a good song. I'll admit to that. There's one good song, right? That's fine. Then I was over at my friend's house. My family was there. His family was there. We were eating dinner, and his daughter loves The Greatest Showman too. And so my daughter's like, "Oh, Daddy, can we watch Greatest Showman?" I was like, "Sure, but I don't really want to watch it." And then my friend looks at me and says, "Dude, you probably should watch it. It's a really good movie." I was like, "No." And he goes, "Well, Hugh Jackman's in it." This Hugh Jackman? And I Google it, and I'm like, this Hugh Jackman is also this Hugh Jackman? There's no way. They're not the same dude. Think about it. Go back. This guy, Wolverine, for like 19 years, is going to be the ringmaster in a musical? There's no way. He's like, dude, just try it. This friend of mine loves The Greatest Showman. And I'm not going to name his name because that was embarrassing. He's Mark Snyder at the South Toledo campus. Not going to say it out loud, though, but that's who it is. So we watch it. And it ends, and he's like, what'd you think? I'm like, that's a pretty good movie. It's okay. Like, it's okay. It's fine. I'll give it to you. There's a good musical out there. It's okay, right? But I would take my kids to wherever every morning, to my mother-in-law's or my father's or whatever, dropping them off, and they always want to listen to The Greatest Showman, so I'll put it on, because I'm a good dad. I'm a really good dad, so I'll listen to it with them, and I might sing a couple of the words with them, because I'm a good dad, right? And I want to support their dreams and hopes and all that stuff and their likes. Then I would drop them off. I'd go into their grandma's house. I'd drop them off, give them kisses, go back to the car, and I would close out of Spotify and put on a podcast about being manly or like what it means. I would just sit in silence some days and I'll just reflect on how manly I am and how, all that stuff. You're laughing because you know I'm lying. I don't actually. I push play on Spotify and I turn it louder, and if you're lucky, you'll see me some mornings on the loop of 475 doing one of these numbers. And that's me, and it's the girl song, and it's my favorite song on the entire soundtrack. And not only that, when I am driving in the car, my daughter's in the back, and the girl parts come on, and I start singing. She starts yelling at me and saying, Daddy, stop. You can't sing the girl parts. Those are my parts. She's saying, you sing the boy parts. And I start arguing with her, saying, no, those are the best parts. I want to sing the girl parts. Reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I was afraid of admitting this kind of stuff for a while, because you guys would judge me, which you shouldn't do. We're in church. This is not a place to judge me for my opinions. Now, I'm confessing it publicly because you should do that with sin. You should confess it publicly, and so I'm doing that now. But the real reason why I'm telling you this story is because I'm being honest, I've truly never wanted to admit that I enjoyed The Greatest Showman, right? I didn't want to admit that because I'm actually, inside, I'm like, people are going to think, oh, that's just like lame, all that stuff. But all of us have felt that way before. There are things we don't want to admit to publicly because we're afraid people might think differently of us, might judge us. It might not be something silly and foolish as The Greatest Showman, but there's other things in our lives we don't want to say out loud. And so in that, I can understand why even Jesus' family didn't want to say anything publicly positive about him, because they weren't just risking judgment, they were risking potential death. So even though I get it, it still doesn't take away the tension that Jesus must have felt as he knows he's lost a bunch of followers, as he knows these religious leaders want him dead because of what he was changing, and as he knows that his family, his brothers, don't believe in him and won't say anything nice about him out loud.